Alright, so after Mazi Mnamdi Kanu was sentenced to life imprisonment, he was immediately moved from Abuja and he was brought to Sokoto, where he's going to probably serve his life sentence there, right? So the question is, why of all the parts of the country, why do these people choose Sokoto for Mnamdi Kanu to serve his prison? So this man is going to be in prison, and there he will only meet the Fulanis and the Hausa and probably Buzu that are from the Nigerians and Chad and all this stuff, right? But that's not actually the problem. The problem now is, I hope we are not going to hear anything, because our country used to be very funny, where even snakes can go into where they store money and swallow money. So I hope we not wake up one day with the news that bandits has broke into Sokoto prison and unalived people, and Mazi Mnamdi Kanu was also a victim. I hope you don't get that kind of news. So that is by the way. But then another concern here is what Reno Omokri did immediately when the verdict was passed on Mnamdi Kanu. Because Reno Omokri went immediately, Mnamdi Kanu was sentenced and the verdict was pronounced. Reno Omokri went to post concerning the presidential candidature of Peter Obi. He was urging people who have been supporting Peter Obi not to vote for him, where he described voting Peter Obi as president or even vice as voting for Mazi Mnamdi Kanu's pardon, presidential pardon, right? So this should tell you something, that this is actually a political game, right? I heard Ihedi, Light of Africa, pushing some blames to Very Dark Man, where Very Dark Man said this is a distraction strategy by the government for sentencing Mazi Mnamdi Kanu life in prison is a distraction strategy. But if you look at it very clearly, this looks like actually it's a distraction strategy, because let's come to think of it, the verdict was not initially supposed to be passed the day it was passed, right? It was supposed to be adjourned, but all of a sudden, from nowhere, verdict was just passed, and then Mnamdi Kanu is sentenced to life in prison. And immediately, Reno Omokri will have to come out and make that post he made concerning Peter Obi and his presidential candidature. So, this thing, when I say politics is a secret society, it's a secret cult, that is not a mistake, right? Politics is actually a secret court, because it looks so much like this judgment was passed in the night before the judge came out to pronounce it in the daytime. Because immediately this verdict was passed in Abia State, the Abia State government house was surrounded with security. Like, before you know it, soldiers, police, DSS, everything was deployed to Abia State government house. Like, what does that tell you? Because they knew that the verdict that was passed might cause chaos, and Abia State government will have to protect themselves from the citizens of Abia State or from the citizens of the southeast. Like, these people, when I say everything is being controlled in the night before manifesting in the daytime, this is not a joke, right? Because it seems this judgment was passed in the night, right? Before all those things was displayed in the daytime for ordinary people like me and you to see. So I asked this question. I said, why are all these things now happening in the time where we are facing a very serious security threat? Now, we were talking about the KB girls that were abducted. We've not even come to the roots of what happened. We heard of the Niger State, a school in Niger State where bandits invaded the school, abducted the students. And we're still talking about that. We heard of the Kwara State Church, where church members were attacked, and some of them were abducted and some were killed at the spot. We also heard of the Nasarawa State School that was also invaded by bandits, and over 200 students were taken away. And in the midst of all these things, like, I don't know, this month of November is just back to back. Nigeria is giving us back to back, right? And somebody will sit in the parlor and pretend as if nothing is happening. And when you say Nigeria is facing the threat of insecurity, some people comes out to debunk such things. I don't know what's wrong with us in this part of the world.